Hey guys, and welcome to A Princess in Progress. This week we're talking about my testimony, and not gonna lie, I definitely have been avoiding this, but today I feel peace that it is time to talk to you guys about how I became who I am today. And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely was a very lonely kid, and a lot of the things that I learned about Jesus happened in my quiet time, where I was reading or where I was in my Bible or where I was listening to music. Yeah, that's where I found him. So yeah, here's a little bit of my story. So when I was 3, I accepted Jesus into my heart. And I remember that I started to go to kindergarten, I think, maybe preschool. And I started to get bullied and I started to feel alone. And there was just this day where I was sitting there and I was like crying, just wishing that my mom would come and get me. And I just remember sitting there and just being so sad. And God, literally, Jesus wrapped his arms around me. I remember that hug. And he said, "Hey, you're gonna be okay. I love you, and your mom's gonna be here soon." So I dried up and I did everything that I needed to do, and my mom came and got me. After that, I was homeschooled. Pretty awesome for an introvert. But the the lies of the enemy and the ways that the enemy tried to get at me did not stop. When I was about 6, I had a friend. It was a neighborhood friend, and her mom literally opened the door one day when I rode up to play with her daughter, and she said, "You are not welcome here. Don't ever come and play with my daughter again." Slammed the door in my face. I came home and I just started crying because I didn't know what I did. And I think it started to cause a wall in my life where I just didn't know how to trust people. And when I turned 9, I got really, really, really sick. I had intense stomach pain, like curled up on the couch, intense stomach pain. And I tried to tell people, I tried to be honest, and I tried to be open for probably, I don't know, I don't remember, but I just remember a lot of people just saying, "Oh, it's anxiety. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's just a poor diet. Just eat healthier." Or, "Oh, it's just a stomach ache. You'll be fine. Okay, get up, start dancing, be tough." And I stopped trusting people, one, because I knew that there was something seriously wrong with my gut, and no one knew how to help me. But two, I also didn't feel like no one really pursued how to help me. Obviously, my parents did. They helped me to find some things, like I went gluten-free, I went corn-free, I went soy-free. It helped for a long time. But I still had quite a bit of anxiety and depression because I had had so many poor experiences with people outside of my family. And I feel like I kind of shut down too. I stopped inviting people into my life. I stopped being a healthy person. And I just remember starting middle school, and I tried to make friends, but I just remember being so anxious before I went to school, and praying. Sometimes I would be so nervous that my stomach really hurt, like my stomach was really hurting, and I was so nervous, and I would just put on a song and cry and ask God to come and be with me. And I would go to school and I felt like I had a couple like acquaintances. I didn't feel like I had friends. And the day that I realized that was when some friends of mine walked up behind my back with an earshot and started making plans to go hang out without me. And it felt very purposeful. I don't know if they did mean it purposeful, but it felt at the time very purposeful, and it hurt a lot. And I was like, wow, I don't really know if these people are my friends. And dance was such a hard spot for me, guys. It was such a hard spot. I was the kid that was in all of the upper level classes for my homeschool classes for dance. And teachers treated me differently in a not nice way. Kids treated me differently. I didn't relate to anyone. I couldn't make friends. And it started a really hard and painful journey for me through dance. Yeah, so that was kind of that. When I started high school, I feel like I had grown a little bit in myself. So I started to dress more confidently and find fashion to be fun and stuff like that. But kids still were not very open to me, and honestly, I was not very open to them. So I definitely recognize where my brokenness could have stopped a lot of friendships, but kids were also not very nice. And so I had so many things happen to me in high school that caused another wall to be built and caused a lot of pain. When it was in 2014, I lost my grandpa to a suicide, which caused a lot of extra pain in my family, a lot of extra brokenness. And honestly, a spirit of depression fell across us for a long time. And I remember kids hated what I wore. I would wear a sparkly dress, totally me, right? Totally something I would wear, something I was excited to wear. People would literally scoot across from me or just be like, ugh, you're wearing that, or just so many rude things would come out of their mouth. And mind you, they probably wouldn't hurt me now, but then when I was in that point of so much pain, it hurt a lot. And so, yeah. So I just kind of stopped dreaming. I stopped hoping. At that point, I feel like I didn't have as bad of depression anymore, and my anxiety was still pretty bad. I didn't like going places. If I did go places, I made my little brother go with me. Yeah, so it was just kind of things like that I was just so stressed out. My stomach hurt. I didn't have any friends. People really didn't, they weren't really kind. Older people were very kind. I have a lot of people who still pray for me that are older, like grandma kind of mentors to me that I just love. They were very kind to me. But here is where everything changes, is that throughout my whole life, the thing that has been my pillar has been Jesus. I have been hurt by Christians, by the church. And if I didn't know that who Jesus was, I probably would be a lot like other people who have run away from the church, because it has been painful. But what I want to say is that is not Jesus, friends. That is not who he is. He is so much, like, he is love. And that's what he holds for you. And when I was in my room feeling alone, crying because of another mean name someone came up with, or just crying because of the pain that I was in, Jesus was right by me. He was holding my hand. He was speaking life into me. And he made promises that he's keeping to this day. That I would one day understand what was going on, and that I would be okay, and that I am okay. And if I didn't know who he was, I would have run away a long time ago. I probably wouldn't even be here. But I knew who he was, and this is why I'm sharing my testimony, because if it can help one person who has been hurt by the church know that that's not Jesus, then I am okay sharing this story. Because you are loved, friend. And really, truly, when my life started to change was when I was 19 years old. I was 19 years old. I was sweeping at a dance store that I worked at, selling shoes and selling leotards. I was about to have a panic attack, and I just felt like, who would even help me? Who would even want me here? And I heard this voice, and it said, Addie, if you don't love yourself, if you don't believe the promises that I have for you, then how will anyone you speak that life over believe it for themselves? I wanted to bawl. If I wasn't at work, I would have just started crying, because I realized that the way that we learn how to be like Jesus is first to believe who he is. It is first to believe him and what he says is real. That's our first walk in how to believe or be like Jesus. The other things that I learned through this time was that character truly matters. The people who have character, they still have character to this day. And I still love them. You know, they're real, they're genuine, they have character, and you can see it, how they treat people, how they treat themselves. Okay, so character, God's character, the fruit of the Spirit, these things are the most important things. The other thing that I learned through this time is that Jesus is a protector, he's a provider, and he wants you. He wants your heart. He yearns. He pursues you. And he is your prince. He's your knight in shining armor. He's the one that wants to save you. But he's a gentleman, and he's not gonna save you if you don't want it, if you don't choose it. But I want you to know that I feel it for you, that he wants you and he loves you. And I've experienced this. When I got really sick in 2020, I had to quit dance. And honestly, even though I miss performing, I miss class, it has been such an opportunity for me to heal from the pain of my past, to look at everything, to look at everyone, to look at every choice I've made, every choice other people have made, and forgive myself, forgive others, and get healthy. And what I've learned is that, friend, we're all broken. We all need Jesus. There are going to be times where I hurt people even now. And that's because I'm a broken human. But what I've also learned is that Jesus isn't really broken. He's perfect and pure. He's the only one that could fill the requirements that God gave us. And he did that because he loves us. And it's not this whole thing where he's like, oh, well, I'll go do that. I'll go save them. No, God was so tired. He was so tired of living without us that he let his son die for us so that he could live with us. That is how much he loves us. John 3:16, it says that for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He lived 33 years separated from Jesus. Of course he was close to Jesus and Jesus had him. But what I want to point out is that he wasn't in heaven. He was with us. He was in a human body. He was limited to a human body. And in that, he sacrificed so much so that he could be with us and so that you could experience his love one day with no questions asked, just where you are. And so what truly my testimony is about is this, that Jesus loves, that Jesus is with us, and that people, they're gonna hurt. They are. You're gonna feel lonely. Like, no matter if you have thousands of friends or one friend, no matter if you have thousands of followers or one, you're gonna feel lonely, because we all do, because we all hurt. But Jesus loves and Jesus saves. And if you are willing to give him your heart, and to walk through the journey, he is willing to heal you and make you a beautiful masterpiece to have meaning and purpose in this life. So yes, even though I have quite a few stories that have a lot of pain, I do have quite a few stories that have a lot of hope and joy. And I am so excited to have shared this with you because I think that this will encourage someone out there that may have had a similar story to me, or that may have been hurt and you're like, I don't want anything to do with those Christians. Well, trust me, friend, I'm pretty sure that a lot of humans don't want anything to do with humans right now. But Jesus loves us still, and he made us, and we are all priceless, and we all deserve to know that. I love you guys so much. If this video made an impact on you, I would greatly appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. If you think that this video could help someone, I definitely encourage you to share it, because that spreads the love of Jesus, and that is what I'm here for. And I just hope you guys have a great day, and I hope that this helps you. Bye.